Yeah, men have their own stuff that they can work on, but black women, we are not perfect without our own issues.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. And today, black women are holding each other accountable, and one sister goes viral for saying that sisters are not marriage material. Guys, you don't want to miss out on this, but let's get into the reaction.
Round one.
We have all heard before that there are not enough marriageable black men, but nobody has ever asked whether or not there's enough marriageable black women. Now, let's just be honest, y'all. Black women, we are the most overweight, some of the most unhealthy. We are the most in poverty. We have some of the highest rates of single parent households. And listen, we are not known to have the best attitude or even the best decorum. If I see another twerking video, I'm gonna be so upset. So, like, let's just keep it real, y'all. Yeah, men have their own stuff that they can work on, but black women, we are not perfect without our own issues. So I think a better strategy would be to actually focus on our own selves, focus on the things that we can improve, and we'll get so much better results. And at that point, we'll actually start to attract what we are. Because like I said, if we're attracting Dusties, what did that say about us?
Can I get a ooh sound effect? Now, guys, that's my girl, Ches Charday. I actually did a live stream with her earlier this year. She's also here on YouTube and on TikTok, so check it out. Let me just say this, right? I really appreciate the honesty because as an African-American man, I'm also from Cali like her. I know black men got a lot of work to do. And I try to hold brothers accountable for saying that black women are holding you back and black women are this and black women are that, right? Most black men understand that inherently we have problem within our own group. The problem is that on the other side, there is no issue. Like every black woman is wifey material, right? Every black woman has something to bring to the table because they are the table. And she pointed out some things that, like you heard her, I'm not gonna cover them because we all know that many of these things are true, that a lot of ladies are not really wifey material. I wanna kind of go back to Kevin Samuels' interview with T.I. How did Kevin Samuels get into dating and relationships? He was saying that a lot of his clients that were doing very well, they were having a hard time matching with black women on the same socioeconomic status to be wife material. They could find ladies who made a lot of money and had similar levels of education, but now as far as being a woman that you want to settle down with and marry, those are two different concepts. And a lot of black women feel that they're wifey material, but they don't realize that they are not the person on the other side of the marriage, okay? They don't understand what men are looking for. They just feel like they are wifey material because they're them, okay? But there's no effort being put a lot of times from the woman's side as far as what she needs to do for a man. That's the new conversation in 2022. What are these women doing to appeal to the man? And let's talk about her last point there. I've seen so many sisters dealing with black men and they will have babies by these guys, getting on social media talking about he's a scrub, he's a deadbeat, my other baby daddy is a deadbeat. Okay, but what would that say about you? Wouldn't that make you in the same thing, in the same vein that you're calling him? And that's the problem. A lot of times women want the ability to be able to mess with deadbeats without them being a deadbeat themselves or being dusty themselves. And I'm sorry, ladies, that dog won't hunt. If you are dealing with dusty ass baby daddies, you are also in the same level of dustiness. You're in that same vein as him. You also have to self-improve to get a mate. You have to compete to get a man. And many ladies have a problem with that, but it's not gonna change the fact that if you're not competitive, you're not gonna get chosen. Next video.
Round two.
Submission is not slavery. One of the reasons I think submission continues to be a hot topic is because there is this underlying belief that if a woman submits to a man in a relationship, that basically means she's giving up her rights, she's giving up herself, she's giving up her personhood, and she's putting herself in a situation to be controlled and abused. And that's not what it is at all. Submission within the context of a God-fearing relationship, God-fearing marriage, is really for the woman's benefit. It's really for her betterment, for her improvement. And I think today there is this gross misrepresentation that women are just going to be put into positions to be taking care of, being abused and being taken advantage of, and just, being violated. And so that's why there's this fear around submission. But it's crazy because at the same time, we don't want to submit, but then we're complaining about not being protected. And that's the thing about it. If we actually want protection, then we have to submit and really submit.
Let me just stop right there. Oh, let's let her talk. I'll stop right there. Women don't want to give men what pretty much, in their male genotype. And I know that that's not a real thing, but in what most men want and desire. If they're going to protect a woman, they're going to expecting something in return. Okay? You want a black man's protection and provision, but you don't want to do anything for it. That's the problem. That's why you've heard the moniker or the phrase, accept me as I am. You've seen a lot of people sing it in the R&B world. You've seen Mary J. Blige say that. You've seen Ebony write articles on it. Accept me as I am, but I demand your protection. But then when the man goes out there and finds a woman that's going to be submissive, whether it's in the black community or whether it's in the diaspora or whether it's in, the Filipino community, the Latina community, he's a sellout. But you're not giving the guys what they want. Do you even care about what they want? Let's continue.
Really submit, the way that I see it, the way that I understand it, is just recognizing and acknowledging the role that a man has in your life. Acknowledging and honoring the role that my husband has in my life means that, okay, there's going to be certain things that he's good at, certain things that God has revealed to him, and I respect and I honor that. Even if I don't necessarily see it at that moment or agree it, I respect and honor that, okay, this is his place, this is his position. And so I think we really got to take the fear out of something that is actually quite natural and actually is for our benefit. Because I think a lot of these things that we complain about, not being protected, not being provided for, all those things that we oftentimes hear being complained about, if we just essentially understood the basic principle of submission, then we wouldn't even be having those conversations, because we would be operating in that manner, and then there would be the natural byproduct would be protection. The natural byproduct would probably be provision, all those different things. So I really think we have to start to revisit what this word actually means, because like I said, it's gotten such a negative connotation. And in actuality, it's actually something that, when done properly and done in the right context, I believe is really, really actually for the benefit and for the improvement of women, and also for the benefit of men.
Let me get into that. Okay. I've lived overseas. I've lived in Uganda. I've lived in Poland, and what I've realized, let's say the Indian population in Uganda, their men are very motivated to do things for their women, for the fact that their women respect them. So you can never see an Indian woman in Uganda working for a Ugandan man, unless it's the government or something like that. They're not going to be cleaning houses or anything like that, right? And when a man feels that a woman respects him, or a group of women respect him, it's kind of like capitalism in the idea that entrepreneurs want to innovate products to gain customers. So to gain the market, I'm motivated to innovate an industry or a product, to make money for myself, to make things better, to build upon it. What's happening right now in the black community is you don't have these men out here wanting to protect women, wanting to provide for women, because I'm gonna be real, a lot of brothers feel like it's not even worth it. So now, are you gonna get businesses in the community? Are you gonna get, like startups, mentorship programs? Are you gonna get these things? Most likely you will not, right? I'm not blaming the women solely on that, because men should be doing that and setting the standards also, but that is a byproduct of that. If you're not, or are you gonna feel that why waste my talents in Black America? I can just go elsewhere. You're gonna do that. So why protect and provide for the women in my community? I can go and do it someplace else. And that is what you're getting. She's right. Let's go to the next video.
Round 3.
Some of y'all out here dating the same man over and over with a different face, acting like men ain't shit. All men are the same. No, sweetie. All the men you date are the same. And all the men you go after ain't shit. So why don't we pause, figure out what it is about you that's attracting the ain't shit type of dude, and what it is about them that's attracting you. Fix it. Change it. And then maybe you'll get a dude who's worth your time.
So here's something very similar to what Miss Charday said. And I'm going to give a shout out to the sister who is advice from a wife. She's saying something very, very similar, which is you are attracting the same kind of man with a different name. Might be from different cities. Might be light skin, dark skin, different height, but you're attracting the same kind of man. And many women tend to be unhappy with this outcome. But inadvertently, they don't look at the fact that the one constant person in all of them, in all of these different interactions, is them. So how come you are on your, some of y'all, second, third, fourth, different baby daddy, always having a tumultuous time, but it's always these guys. But you have never looked at yourself to say that, you know what, maybe it's my issue. And I would say the same thing for the guys. If you have that issue, maybe you need to look at yourself. That's a fair statement. Many women don't want to do that, but it's fair. You can't just blame all men for the issues that you're having. Next video.
Final round.
I'm hearing a lot of emphasis on the financial responsibilities of a man, and basically making judgments based off of his paycheck. I'm just going to throw out the caution to that, because as with anyone else, remember that when you are talking about how much a man makes today, him making 6 figures today doesn't guarantee that for life. And likewise, him making $50,000 or less, if that's what you deem below your bar, that doesn't mean that that's all he'll have the potential to make. So stop just thinking with, what's in his wallet today, and start thinking about the values and the morals. And do you share those things? Are you like-minded? Do you have the same goals? Do you want the same amount of kids? Do you believe in the same things? Do you want to follow? Does he want to lead? Those types of things should be discussed. Those types of things should be deal breakers.
So let me talk about this. This is very, very good advice. And I want to talk about what I see with a lot of African-American women is a lot of women do not want to take men seriously until the men have become successful. All right. And I'm talking about the guys who were not, the most attractive or the most charismatic guys in the neighborhood or in high school, things like that. So if you're not that guy and you had to go to school or had to be in the business world or something like that, there's typically some stipulations on what you need to do to deal with those sisters. You need to become famous, a medical doctor or an attorney, then I'll date you. The problem with that is that you're only looking at what he has. And typically when a man gets to that level of earnings, he can remember what kind of women were there for him. And he kind of has a lot of options by that time. So him dealing with you might not even be, you might not be able to get in the room, to be real. Most successful men who are doing very well like that, the average woman can't get in the room with them, to be real, okay? You can't even access guys like that. Similarly, if you have women who are doing very well, you can't access them either. But now, let's kind of go back to this point. Just because he's not earning a lot of money right now, doesn't mean that he won't later. This is where other races of women do very well with black men. Other races of other women will notice a black man doing very good, especially at PWI, predominantly white universities and institutions. He's a freshman, he's a sophomore. He's majoring in computer engineering, he's majoring in biology. Most sisters, hey, he hasn't made it yet, he's broke. But now the other ladies are looking at the work ethic. They're looking at he's performing very well in class. He works hard. Okay, so they know that he's gonna become somebody because they've seen those same traits in their father, right? They know how to pick that man. And then in 8 or 9 years, where that guy's a surgeon, or that guy's an ophthalmologist, or that guy's an MBA, or that guy's a tax attorney, then she's already there, right? She's already there, a part of his life. But now you wanna wait until that particular guy has made it, and then you wanna wonder why he don't wanna deal with you. Because why? Permanent interests are necessary. What's his religion? What are your, what is his political views? What roles does he have in the family? Is he a man ready to lead? Is he a good man? Is he a hardworking man? Is he self-sacrificing for the family? Those are the things that a lot of successful women who want to be married look at. But women who want to be taken care of and not necessarily married are only looking at dollar signs. And then that's why those relationships tend to be very few and far in between, okay? Start looking at permanent interests instead of looking at dollars. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again for the episode here. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Peace out.